Praise God, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Sunday Supper. I'm so blessed to have you with me this evening again. Once again, to be able to talk more about this Bible that we have and that we believe, that we learn from, that we glean from, that teaches us life skills, tells us things to do, what not to do, give us examples of what not to do. Just this book that we have called the Bible. I mean, it's a blessing to us. And, all scripture is written by men, but inspired by God. So there is something in these scriptures that we must be able to pull or draw from. And that is what we are here to teach you here at Sunday Supper, going through this whole Bible. We are still in the beginning. The book of Genesis, also known as the first book of Moses or the first book of the law, the Pentateuch. So we're just going to continue on with that this evening. And I must say that it is such a blessing to be able to hear people say that they're learning something and then kind of tell me what they're getting from it, and tell me parts of it that they liked and that they found very interesting and fascinating and things like that. So I thank God that you are able to get something from it. So with that being said, let's get started. Last week we got into Isaac marrying Rebecca. They had these two sons, and these twin sons are going at it, Esau and Jacob. And Jacob ended up tricking Esau to give away his birthright, and it's just it's it's a lot going on here. And so we're going to continue on with more of Esau and Jacob and Isaac and Rebecca's story tonight. Um, and it gets more exciting, and more happens. That this is your first action movie here. I mean, because if the Bible was put into production, complete Bible put into production accurately without all kinds of dramatics added to it, I mean, the Bible has enough of that in its own that they don't need to add any dramatics to it. So let's talk about this tonight as we continue on with Sunday Supper Explores the Bible. So now we understand that the birthright, Esau's birthright, it was tricked, for some stew. And so with this being said, birthright is normally something that is given like to the eldest child of the home, of the family. He's not considered like firstborn. It could be firstborn as far as in order of who was born first. We can call that firstborn. But as we're going to learn further on, that the firstborn is known as the favorite child. So that is what happened. It kind of took on a different context later on, but we'll get to that when we get to it. So we're in the 26th chapter. Okay, yeah, I kind of lost track of where we were. Yeah, we're in the 26th chapter of Genesis tonight. And let's begin. It said, there was a famine in the land, in addition to the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. Isaac went to Abimelech, king of the Philistines, to Gerar. The Lord appeared to him and said, don't go down to Egypt. Live in the land I will tell you about. So now, just like with Abraham was given a message from God that he was going to tell him a land that he was supposed to go to. Now, Isaac, God is telling him, look, the Lord told him, do not go down to Egypt. There's a lot going on in Egypt that I don't want you to be a part of. So I'm going to send you to a place where I need for you to go. So live in the land and I will be with you. and will bless you. Understand this. He says, live in the land and I will be with you. Now, what if Isaac did not follow those instructions? What the Lord has said, you know what, this knucklehead here, he's just going to do what he's going to do. So I'm going to let him have it. But because he wants him to do what he wants to do, he tells him, look, you do what I tell you to do, I will bless you. For I will give to you and to your offspring all these lands, and I will establish the oath which I swore to Abraham your father. Remember, there's going to be blessings coming down the line of Abraham's descendants simply because of who Abraham was, and his faith and how he did what the Lord told him to do. That now his offspring and their offspring and their offspring will all be blessed. So he's saying, look, there's a covenant that I had with your father Abraham. So now, because of that covenant, I'm also going to establish this oath with you. It's the same oath that I swore to your father. It shall continue on with you. It's the same thing that should be happening today. If you are blessed as a father, and then your sons and your daughters, they all shall be blessed. It should be, as we call it, generational wealth should be continuing being passed down. Let me continue on. I will multiply your offspring as the stars of the sky. Same thing he told with Abraham, and will give all these lands to your offspring. And your offspring, all the nations of the earth will be blessed. Blessed through who? Blessed through Abraham. Now blessed through Isaac. And it continues. Because Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my requirements, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. So Isaac lived in Gerar. The men of that place asked him about his wife. Now, we read how Abraham kept telling everyone in the different places that Sarah was his sister and not his wife. And we also learned that, yes, technically, yes, she was his sister, but the realization of it is she was his wife because he was afraid that he was going to be killed because she was so beautiful. Now, remember, Rebecca is also a beautiful person. She's a beautiful woman that just looked beautiful. So, what do you think Isaac said when he went to these places? We're going to learn. Here we go. So the men of the place of Gerar, asked him about his wife. He said, she is my sister. For he was afraid to say, my wife, lest he thought the men of the place might kill me for Rebecca, because she is beautiful to look at. Here he is again. He is afraid. He is afraid of what will happen to him. But if we go back just a few scriptures, the Lord told him that if he go to the place of where he was going to show him, that the Lord would be with him. If the Lord is with him, the Lord will protect him, right? Right. But he didn't want to follow that. So when he had been there a long time, wow. So he'd been there for a while now. Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out a window and saw, and behold, Isaac caressing Rebekah, his wife, but in Abimelech's eyes, his sister. But now Abimelech's eyes are open to see that's not his sister. That's his wife. So Abimelech called Isaac and said, behold, surely this woman is your wife. Surely she is your wife. Why did you say she is my sister? Isaac said to him, because I said, lest I die because of her. Abimelech said, what is this you have done to us? One of the people might easily have lain with your wife, and you would have brought guilt on us. He said, look here, one of the men of my city here might have slept with your wife because you said she was your sister. And if he would have slept with her, then a curse would have been brought upon us. And that thing would have made us guilty because we are guilty of the adultery which would have happened. And understand this real quick. The Decalogue, or what we call the Ten Commandments, have not yet been given, but these are the instinctual laws that are placed within man already. They're already within man. They're already there. So Abimelech knew what happened in the times of Abraham when Abraham was going around saying that she is my sister. He knew about all these things. So he's like, look here, man. Why are you sitting here telling us that this is your sister when indeed it is your wife? And if one of my men would have taken her and lain with her, then something bad would have happened to us and the guilt would have been on us. And Abimelech commanded all the people, saying, he who touches this man or his wife will surely be put to death. Isaac sowed in the land and reaped in the same year 100 times what he planted. The Lord blessed him. Remember, this is a part of the oath that the Lord had with Isaac. The man grew great and grew more and more until he became very great. Now he's not just great. He's not just good. He's very great now, which means he has more in stature. He has more possessions that he has. He has become like Abraham, blessed with so much. So he had possessions of flocks, possessions of herds, and a great household, meaning servants and all those things. So the Philistines, they begin to envy him. You can imagine if this is my land, I'm in my land, and you come into my land, you are a foreigner in my land, and all of a sudden you begin to prosper, you begin to flourish. Nah, man, something's up. And so now all the wells which his father's servants had dug in the days of Abraham his father, the Philistines had stopped and filled with the earth. So there's no more getting water out of this well. They filled it with dirt so that the water will not flow anymore in those wells. Abimelech said to Isaac, go away from us. You are much mightier than we. Understanding that if you have more power in this land, and especially if you have more power, possessions, and everything than I do, the king of this land, then no, you have to go, because now there's going to become a competition between us. And if the competition continues to grow and grow between us, then strife is going to happen. The next thing you know, there could be a war that goes on between you and I in my land that is mine, you know? So he said, look, go away from us, Isaac. Move on. Isaac departed from there and encamped in the valley of Gerar and lived there. Isaac dug again the wells of water, which they had dug in the days of Abraham his father. For the Philistines had stopped them after the death of Abraham. He called their names after the names by which his father had called them. So they all had the same names. Isaac's servants dug in the valley and found there a well of flowing, or as we like to say, living water. Living water means it's fresh. It's fresh because it is moving. Dead water is water that's just stagnant, not going anywhere. It's building up bacteria and all kinds of stuff. So living water flows. It renews itself or cleanses itself as it goes upon the gravel, the rocks, and everything else. It captures a lot of it becomes a filter for the water. So they had fresh water or living water flowing out of the wells. The herdsmen of Gerar asked with Isaac herdsmen, saying, the water is ours. He called the name of the well Esek, because they contended with him. So he made a name for it just because they contended with him of whose property is the water. They dug another well and they argued over that also. He called its name Sitnah. He left that place and dug another well. So there's 3 wells now. They didn't argue over that one. He called it Rehoboth. He said, "For now, the Lord has made room for us, and we will be fruitful in the land because we have water." Water means fruitful. Why? Because you grow crops with water. You feed your animals with water. You're able to cook with water. You're able to bathe with water. And water is one of those necessary nutrients that you need, especially in the human body. We need water. Without water, we will perish. He went up from there to Beersheba, well of the oath. Remember, that was a well where there was an agreement made there. And that's why it was called the Beersheba. All right, the Lord appeared to him the same night and said, "I am the God of Abraham, your father. Don't be afraid, for I am with you and will bless you and multiply your offspring for my servant Abraham's sake." Like I was saying in the beginning, he is blessed because his father was blessed. His father received the covenant, the Abrahamic covenant, and that was to bless him, bless his descendants, bless their descendants, and on and on and on and on and on. He built an altar there and called on the Lord's name and pitched his tent there. There Isaac's servants dug a well. Then Abimelech went to him from Gerar to Ahuzath, his friend, and Phicol, the captain of his army. Isaac said to them, "Why have you come to me, since you hate me and have sent me away from you? Why even come here? What do you want?" They said, "We saw plainly that the Lord was with you." We said, "Let there now be an oath between us, even between us and you, and let's make a covenant with you." Because they saw him being blessed, because they saw him prospering, they got together, these men, and they said, "You know what? The Lord has to be with him. Look at the things he has. Look at what he is able to do. We have to make a covenant with him." They're probably thinking that they're going to get something out of this. And so if we make it a covenant between each other, then I am your friend and I'm going to be blessed just like you. They say blessed by association, but it's using him. And as we say, if you're going to use him, the Lord knows that you're doing so that you would do us no harm, as we have not touched you, and as we have not done nothing but good, and have sent you away in peace. You are now the blessed of the Lord. He made them a feast, and they ate and drank. They rose up sometime in the morning and swore an oath to one another. Isaac sent them away, and they departed from him in peace. So now Isaac went on, and he agreed to swear this oath to each other. So Isaac is in agreement with this oath. And now as they made the oath, he sent them back to where they came from. So the same day Isaac's servants came and told him concerning the well, which they had dug, and said to him, "We have found water." He called it Sheba, or oath, or 7. Again, Beersheba was that because it was the place of an oath, place where new beginnings happen for Abraham, and that's what he called that. And so now Isaac has this place also. So therefore, the name of the city is Beersheba to this day. Back to Esau. When Esau was 40 years old, he took as wife Judith, the daughter of Bera, the Hittite, and Bezemath, the daughter of Elon, the Hittite. They grieved Isaac's and Rebekah's spirit. When Isaac was old, he's not dying yet. Well, he's not dead yet. So when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau the elder son, and said to him, My son, he said to him, Here am I. He said, See now, I am old. I don't know the day of my death. I don't know the day of my death, but I know it's coming pretty soon. So now, because he feels as though his day of death is coming soon, now he wants to bestow, those blessings upon his son, but he needs something first from him. So now he says, Now therefore, please take your weapons and a quiver and your bow and go out to the field and get me some venison. Go give me an animal, something good, and make me a savory food, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat and that my soul may bless you before I die. This is what he is saying to Esau in private, in confidence. But remember, Esau is Isaac's favorite. Jacob is Rebekah's favorite. Now, here comes the plot twist. Rebekah heard when Isaac spoke to Esau, his son. Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. Rebekah spoke to Jacob, her son, saying, Behold, I heard your father speak to Esau, your brother, saying, Bring me venison and make me savory food, that I may eat and bless you before the Lord before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command you. Go now to the flock and get me 2 good young goats from there. I will make them savory food for your father, such as he loves. You shall bring it to your father, that he may eat, so that he may bless you before his death. Now watch this. Isaac's agreement was with Esau, but Rebekah, his wife, is being a trickster, telling Jacob what was going to happen. But remember, Isaac sent Esau out to the field to find this animal. I mean, it wasn't from his flock. This thing was wild, whatever he was to kill. Now, Rebekah tells Jacob to just go out to our flock and bring me 2 young goats so that I may make a savory meal for your father. She don't want the birthrights to go to Jake or Esau. She wants it to go to Jacob. She is slick. All right, here we go. So you shall bring it to your father that he may eat, so that he may bless you before his death. Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, Behold, Esau, my brother, is hairy. Remember, one's hairy, one was smooth when they were born. Esau, my brother, is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. What if my father touches me? I will seem to him as a deceiver, and I will bring a curse on myself and not a blessing. I will be a deceiver. I will be a liar. My father will not like me. And what's going to happen is he's going to curse me instead of blessing me. Mother, why are you asking me to do this? I am not the same as Esau. My skin is not the same. I am smooth. I have no hair. But Esau is a very hairy man. What are you doing, mother? And his mother, Rebekah, said to him, Let your curse be on me, my son. Only obey my voice and go get them for me. So she said, if he curses you, the curse is on me, not on you. Just do what I tell you to do. He went and got them and brought them to his mother. His mother made savory food, such as his father loves. Of course, she knows what he loves. It's his wife. Rebekah took the good clothes of Esau. Now she's been real slick. She went and got some clothes of Esau, the elder brother, which were with her in the house, and put them on Jacob, her younger brother. But we still have an issue, though. Though he have on the clothes, he is not hairy like Esau. So to correct that, she put the skins of the young goats on his hands and on the smooth of his neck so that he could seem like a hairy man. She gave the savory food and the bread, which she reaped into her son, the hand of her son. Remember, Esau cannot see well at this point. He is not as sharp with his eyesight as he was before. So he's not able to truly see who is coming in. He has to go by something that he is familiar with. And you know, when one thing is going, another sense is being heightened, which is his hearing. All right. So he came to his father and said, "My father," he said, "here I am. Who are you, my son?" Jacob said to his father, "I am Esau, your firstborn. I have done what you asked me to do. Please arise, sit, and eat of my venison, that your soul may bless me." Because he already knows what was said to Esau. Isaac said to his son, watch this. "How is it that you have found it so quickly, my son?" He said, "Because the Lord your God gave me success." He is lying. He's deceiving. He's deceiving his father of who he is. And he just deceived his father of how he got the meat for the savory food. He's getting all this from his mother. Isaac said to Jacob, "Please come near that I may feel you, my son, whether you are really my son Esau or not." And just go back and remember what Rebecca had done, how she had put the skins of the goats on his hands and on his neck. Jacob went near to Isaac, his father. He felt him and said, "The voice is Jacob's voice." Remember hearing. "But the hands are the hands of Esau." He didn't recognize him because his hands were hairy, like his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. He wasn't really sure who it was because the voice was of one, but the hands were hairy like the other. But he blessed him. He said, "Are you really my son Esau?" He said, "I am." Again, he's still unsure. He said, "Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless you." He brought it near to him and ate. He brought him wine, and he drank. His father said to him, "Come near now and kiss me, my son." He came near and kissed him. He smelled the smell of his clothing and blessed him and said, "Behold, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord had blessed. God give you of the dew of the sky, of the fatness of the earth." These are the blessings. "And plenty of grain and new wine. These are the blessings. Let peoples serve you, and nations bow down to you. Be Lord over your brothers. Let your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be everyone who curses you, and blessed be everyone who blesses you." The man's birthright is now giving to the younger brother. Deceitfulness. As soon as Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, and Jacob had just gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, here comes Esau. So everything is done now. The blessing's been given, the meal's been eaten. And now Esau, who was doing the right thing, that went out to the field to kill the animal to bring back to make this stew, is just now coming back. He also made the savory food that that Isaac asked him to do, and he brought it into his father, and he said to his father, "Let my father rise, eat of his son's venison, that your soul may bless me. Isaac's confused. Isaac, his father, said to him, who are you? He said, I'm your son, your firstborn, Esau. And this is when Isaac begins to get a little angry. He said, well, who then is he who has taken venison, brought it to me? I've eaten all before you came, and I blessed him. Yes, he will be blessed because I blessed him. Who was that? And Esau already knew, because when he heard his father say these words, Esau began to cry, and he grew bitter and said to his father, he needs his father. He wants his father to take back the blessing that he already gave to Jacob, and he wants to give it to him. And watch this. 34. He said, when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with an exceedingly great and bitter cry and said to his father, bless me, even me also, my father. He said, your brother came with deceit, and he has taken your blessing. Now remember, he was already tricked out of his birthright. Already tricked out of it. Now he's tricked out of his blessing too. His brother Jacob is no good. Trickster. Taking everything from the elder brother. And he said, isn't he rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. He tricked me these 2 times. He took away my birthright. See, now he has taken away my blessing, he said. Haven't you reserved your blessing for me? Wasn't that blessing for me, Father? Wasn't it? And Isaac answered Esau, behold, I have made him your Lord. Oh my goodness. And all his brothers I have given to him for servants. I have sustained him with grain and new wine. What then will I do for you, my son? I have already given him everything. There's nothing left to give. I am sorry. Esau said to his father, do you have just one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. Esau lifted up his voice and wept. You can imagine. He went out and did all this because he loved his father. There was pride in it, following the example of what his father told, or the instructions of what his father told him to do. And he goes and he does it. And then he comes back just to find out that there was a scam artist in the midst that took his birthright, that took his blessing. This guy was a identity thief. There was identity theft back then, and there's identity theft now. But this identity theft cost Esau everything. And now he's going to have to be a servant to his brother Jacob. Isaac, his father, answered him, behold, your dwelling will be of the fatness of the earth and of the dew of the sky from above. You will live by your sword, and you will serve your brother. It will happen when you will break loose that you will shake his yoke from off your neck. Shake his yoke, shake his control from off of you. That will happen. It will come to pass. That will happen. He will no longer be able to control you. And that yoke that he has, that yoke of bondage that he has upon you, you will shake it off. You're going to live by the sword. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing with which his father blessed him. Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning of my father are at hand, then I will kill my brother Jacob. And remember, we go back to early in Genesis with Cain and Abel. if you do well, things will come to you. But if sin lieth at the door, you allow for the enemy to come in. The sin that lies at the door of Esau is hate. His brother already sinned against him because of what he had done. But now Esau also now is allowing for that thing to creep at that door. The door was open, and now hate is allowed to come in. And now Esau, with his mindset, is saying, look, now because of this, because I'm angry, because I'm so angry, I'm going to kill him. The words of Esau, the elder son, were told to who? None other than the master of deceit, which I like to call the master of deceit because she started this, Rebecca. She sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said to him, look, behold, look, Esau's going to kill you. Esau is planning to take you out. You need to leave. Now, therefore, my son, obey my voice, arise and flee to Laban. Laban is who? Is Rebekah's brother. Remember, my brother in Haran. Stay with him a few days until your brother's fury turns away. Do she really think that because he is not in his presence that the anger is going to leave him? I mean, you just took everything from me, and now I have to serve you. Do you really think, mother, that this anger is truly going to leave me in just a few days? Jeez, told you that this is some stuff here, and so stay with him a few days until your brother's fury turns away, until your brother's anger turns away from you and he forgets what you have done to him. Then I will send and get you from there. Why should I be, watch this, bereaved of you both in one day? Mother, you started this. Mother, you caused this whole thing to happen. Jacob didn't even want to do it. You talked him into it. And now Esau is fuming so bad that he is so angry that he's like, look, I got to take my brother out. Because this guy is going to continue to take things from me. And I can't keep allowing for this to happen. He has to be stopped. Little did he know his mother is the one that needed to be stopped. Because now she's sending Jacob away. Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob takes a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as these, of the daughters of the land, what good will my life do me? So she's already afraid of some things. She knows how she is. She knows her heart. She knows what's going on. I'm going to send you to my brother Laban. And there's a reason why she's sending him to Laban. It's not just for protection, but she's sending him there for a reason, and that's coming up now. Genesis chapter 28. Isaac called Jacob, blessed him, and commanded him, you shall not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan, and rise and go to Padan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, your mother's father, your grandfather. Take a wife from there, from the daughter of Laban, your mother's brother. Now you're going to marry your cousin. May God Almighty bless you and make you fruitful and multiply you, that you may be a company of peoples. Isaac knew what happened. Isaac knew the trickery, but now there's nothing that Isaac can do about it because the blessing had already been sent forth. So he just has to go with it. And so now he sends Jacob away. He sends him to his grandfather's house. so that he may find the daughter of Laban and marry his cousin. Again, this is what was happening in those days. All right. Now, I don't know if it's still happening in those lands in that part of the region of the world, but we don't hear in the United States it is illegal to marry a relative in some states. All right. And give you the blessing of Abraham to you and to your offspring with you, that you may inherit the land where you travel. So wherever you go, that's going to be your land, which God gave to our father Abraham. Isaac sent Jacob away. He went to Padan Aram, to Laban, son of Bethuel, the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob's and Esau's mother. Make sure this is on. Okay. I don't know what happened there. Now Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Padan Aram, to take him away from there. And that as he blessed him, he gave him a command, saying, "You shall not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan." And that Jacob obeyed his father. Now he wants to obey his father and his mother. It was going to Padan Aram. Esau saw that the daughters of Canaan didn't please Isaac, his father. Remember, Esau's mad. Esau is mad. Esau is, as we say now, hot. So now Esau went to who? Ishmael. Who's Ishmael? Remember, Ishmael is Isaac's brother. We would call it half brother. That's what we would call it. It's his half brother. And took, in addition to the wives that he had, Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebaioth, to be his wife. And again, he also takes a cousin. He takes a cousin to be his wife. But his cousin is on his father's side, Ishmael's daughter. A lot of family, as we call it, incest going on here. And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran. Man, this is family drama at its best. All right, so he came to a certain place and he stayed there all night because the sun had set. He took one of the stones of the place and put it under his head to lay down in that place to sleep. That's a hard pillow. That is a hard pillow. You take the stone. I don't know if any of you ever served in the military, but you find places to sleep that are just not ideal to sleep, and positions to sleep in that are not ideal to sleep in, but you so tired. I mean, you sleep on rocks, you sleep on hard ground, you do all kinds of things. And this is what he did. He picked up a rock to make a pillow out of it. And I'm sure he kind of bought up some clothing to put on top of that rock, but this is his pillow. And he dreamed and saw a stairway. Now, this is a dream. Stairway set upon the earth, and its top reached to heaven. Remember, we had this happen already. They were building the tower to go to Babel early on in Genesis. Remember with Nimrod. And behold, the angels of God were ascending and descending. So this is the ladder that many people spiritually say that you can see the ladder going up and down, and the angels coming down and going up, and as they come down, they're blessing people, whatever, and they're going up to receive instructions from God. But these were things that were happening. All right, so behold, the Lord stood above it and said, "I am the Lord, the God of Abraham, your father. and the God of Isaac. I will give you the land you lie on, to you and to your offspring. Your offspring will be as the dust of the earth, and you will spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. In you and in your offspring, all the families of the earth will be blessed. Remember, these blessings are happening because of Abraham. The blessings will continue to flow because of Abraham. Now they're also going to be flowing because of his sons. Remember, children, and so on. Behold, I'm with you and will keep you wherever you go, and will bring you again into this land. For I will not leave you until I have done that which I have spoken to you. So I'm going to be with you until I am able to bring this thing to pass. It's a blessing. Jacob awakened out of his sleep and said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I didn't know it. Remember that ladder? They call that. Remember that ladder they called Jacob's ladder. Just remembering that. Then talking about the ladder with the angels going up and down. He was afraid and said, "How awesome is this place? This is none other than God's house, and this is the gate of heaven because of the ladder." Jacob rose up early in the morning and took the stone that he had put under his head, and he set it up for a pillar and poured oil on its top. He began to bless that land. That's what he's anointing that land. And so that's what he's doing. He called the name of that place Bethel, but the name of the city was Luz at first. Remember, Bethel is the place where God dwells. Jacob vowed a vow, saying, if God will be with me and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat and clothing to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, and the Lord will be my God, then this stone, which I have set up for a pillar, will be God's house. Of all that you will give me, I will surely give you. Watch this. I will surely give a tenth to you. This is the, remember the word tenth is another word for tithe. So again, it wasn't mandated for him to give a tenth to God. God didn't ask for that. He didn't ask for a tenth of it. Out of his heart and out of his love, he gave a tenth of what he gave to him. That was the tithe that he gave. So we have some things going on here. And we have one brother, Isaac, the promised son, who had seed, twins, Esau and Jacob. Jacob, following his mother's instructions, tricked Esau out of his birthright and out of the things he was supposed to receive the blessings from his father. Esau is now upset about it all, wants to kill his brother, wants to take him out. If I can't have my blessings, nobody's going to have my blessings. So he wants to take him out. Rebecca, he tells Rebecca, sometimes you can't even tell your mother what you're planning. She's going to give it away. You don't know especially if you don't know the heart of your mother. You knew that you were your father's favorite son or the favorite, and that he is the mother's favorite son, but because of your love for your mother, you tell anyway. So he tells her what he plans to do. She sends him away, sends him to her father's house to marry um, his cousin, the daughter of Laban. Now, Esau's fuming. He goes to Ishmael, Isaac's brother, to marry his daughter. Both are in incest, but both are marrying on different sides of the family. And this is drama at its best. All because of Rebecca wanted Jacob to receive the blessing and not Esau. So now Esau has to serve his brother. He has to be the servant of his brother. But one day, remember, Isaac told him, you will live by the sword. And when you are loosed, you will break the yoke of your brother. You will come from under bondage of your brother. And you will be able to move on. So that's what happened. That's where we are right now with this Bible. Two brothers going at it. And we all thought that Isaac and Ishmael was going at it. We have Esau and Jacob going at it. And this is family sibling rivalry at its best. So that's all we have for this evening. I thank you so much. Those were chapters 26, 27, and 28 of the book of Genesis, the book of beginnings, the history recording of the Hebrew people, the first book of the Pentateuch, the book of Moses. That is what we have. Thank you so much for tuning in. I pray that you got something out of it. Please tune in next week as we continue on with this family drama, sibling rivalry thing that we have going on. And I pray that you all be blessed throughout this week. Please do not sell your birthright to anyone. Keep your birthright for you because it belongs to you. And don't let anyone trick you out of your blessing. Say that again. Don't let anyone trick you out of your blessings from God. Amen. So be blessed, everyone. Have a great one. I thank you so much for tuning in again. It's been a pleasure being with you. It's been a pleasure speaking with you and teaching you more about what is happening in our Bible so that we could accurately be able to tell people what God was doing in this time. Amen. Amen. So for here at Sunday Supper, remember there's always room for you at the table. And please always remember to live your life on purpose. Be blessed, everyone. See you next week.